After a very public airball, the purple and gold have connected. They have shot their shot again, and this time they have hit the net. But is that good? Is that bad? Is this like some kind of weird carny game? But if you missed it, I assume you know by now, but maybe not. As we know it, podcaster JJ Redick, they hired a podcaster. They did it. They hired a podcaster to coach the team. This is so great. JJ Redick, podcaster, has agreed to a 4-year deal to become the head coach of the once proud Lakers. Redick's name, we've talked about this. My people that are in the know have told me for some time that there's a couple people over there in Lakerland, one of them named LeBron, another one who has a bug up there, you know what, for Redick. So Lakers fired Darvin Ham. They got rid of him. They usually get rid of coaches after a couple years, and the Lakers lost to the Nuggets. So Darvin Ham was sacrificed after that playoff loss, and now they hired a podcaster. It's so good. Oh, my God, is this great. All right, so let us discuss the question. What letter grade do you give the hire of podcaster JJ Redick, and what letter grade do you give the Lakers? So I've got Jupiter. I've also got Manuka Honey and Full Nelson. And we will combine all of these things together, and we will not be giving you any stock answers. That will not happen. So, A, on the Maller report card, let's get right to the Maller report card, not waste any time. We'll start with the organization. So the Lakers, they don't get an A, they don't get a B, they don't get a C, they don't get an F. I'm not going to give them an F. I'm not. I'm fair. I am. I have this reputation of not being fair. I'm very fair. The Lakers on the Maller report card get an E. Now, not for excellent. E is not for excellent. E is for emasculating, because this is emasculating. A pathetic attempt by the purple and gold to placate LeBron James. Don't leave, LeBron. We need you, LeBron. Don't go, LeBron. Please. So we'll hire your buddy. You have just embarrassed the once proud franchise and hired LeBron's podcast co-host. Oh, my God. If I had told this story 2 years ago, or even a year ago, I said, I think the Lakers, their next coach is going to be a podcaster with no coaching experience. And Redick, anything you don't want in a coach, he's got. He's thin-skinned. He's got rabbit ears. That's his skill set. He takes criticism personally. He's pompous, persnickety, and generally unlikable. Back home, we call a guy like that a schmuck. You've just hired a schmuck as your head coach. And yet, the Lakers realize this, right? Deep down, Jeannie Buss, the cheap owner of the Lakers, and skinny jeans, Rob Pelinka, they know. And how do you know they know? Because they're planting stories with useful idiots in the media, comparing the podcaster to Pat Riley. And the latest, I don't know if you saw this, I did. They planted a story that they think that Redick's like Eric Spoelstra, just like Eric Spoelstra. Of course, Spo, as I understand it, in Miami, he worked his way up from like the video room and paid his dues and then became a coach. So, like, what are we doing? Now, as far as the podcaster, I'm going to give JJ Redick a B-, and here's why. This is one of the great hustles of all time. It really is. And as many have said, you don't need a gun or a knife to steal big money. You just have to hang out with LeBron. He was able to finagle his way into a job he does not deserve by opening up essentially a Jupiter, Florida-like Orchids of Asia day spa, giving LeBron a weekly mani-pedi on his little pod with massages, the facial, the sea salt scrub, and the happy ending. Redick was given the golden handshake for essentially a no-show job. When you're coaching the Lakers, it's a no-show job for two reasons. Number one, LeBron James does all the decision-making because he's the coach by proxy. So you've got that. And then number two, you get a 4-year contract, and they fire you after 2 years, so you're getting money for nothing. It's a no-show job for two of those. Darvin Ham, now he's got another job in Milwaukee, but he's going to get paid. It's a no-show job. All right, now, page 2. There are reports swirling that the unibrow is not happy. So now there are others saying, well, wait a minute here. The Lakers prioritized Anthony Davis's voice. I saw that headline. Lakers prioritize Anthony Davis's voice in their head coaching search where they came up with the podcaster. Do you believe there's any truth, even a grain of truth in that story? So maybe you think I'm wearing a dunce cap. I'm not. If you think that the unibrow was prioritized in this decision, then you might as well go over to McDonald's there, and you might want to ask for some extra fries because you're a few fries short of a Happy Meal with that mindset. This is Rob Pelinka scrambling and the Laker hierarchy to put out fires. Unless your name starts with an L, your first name, and your last name starts with a J, you were not prioritized. Skinny jeans is simply pouring Manuka honey into Anthony Davis's ears. And just pour the honey in there. And Davis, he seems like a pretty mellow, yellow guy. He doesn't really have that killer instinct, Anthony Davis, and he'll get hurt anyway. So the whole idea that players decide who the coach is, that's an NBA thing anyway. But just in general, the reporting of the Lakers prioritized Anthony Davis. You got to be kidding. Okay. Now, will he ask for a trade? He would have to care to ask for a trade. He likes the whole Laker thing and the historians kissing his ass and all that, and he doesn't really have to show up for most games, and he can malinger, and he's okay. The fans don't really care because they're not real fans. It's the whole thing's weak. The whole thing's weak sauce is what it is. All right, now, last word here. Again, if you missed it, the Lakers have hired a podcaster as their new coach with no coaching experience. Is there a silver lining? Is there a silver lining playbook, if you will, for the Lakers hiring the podcaster JJ Redick? So I will be Benny Brightside on 2 points. I'm not all doom and gloom and all. I'm going to be Benny Brightside for a couple of points. It's not all bad news. Number one, JJ Redick, the TV commentator, will now be given radio and TV silence. So that's good. Hallelujah. Did he suck at that job? Right? Now, to be fair, I didn't spend much time watching him because I also despise Doris Burke on those broadcasts, so I pretty much just hit the mute button anyway. But when I have seen him and heard him on other platforms, man, is he just terrible. God, is he bad at broadcasting. And then the entire NBA community, my second point here, the entire NBA community has essentially given the Lakers what I like to call the full Nelson, ergo Nelson Muntz, better known as the bully from The Simpsons, and everyone in unison giving that signature mocking laugh and pointing while saying, ha ha! It's so great. Oh, my God. He hired a podcast. LeBron's podcast buddy has been hired as a head. If you think coaching doesn't matter in the NBA, well, hello, welcome to this. Right? Don't tell me coaching matters. It doesn't matter. But it's so embarrassing. It is so embarrassing at the same time. It is just so great. Because they like the illusion that these guys make a lot of in-game decisions and you got to be really bright and all that. And you got to be likable. There's nothing likable about JJ Redick. There's nothing. He is very easy to hate. Right? I mean, it's, of course, sports hate, which is fine. We like sports hate, but what a disaster. What an absolute disaster. It could not happen to a better franchise. I am so excited. My dreams have come true. When I was told about a month ago that Redick was legitimately in play, right, that this was a legitimate possibility, the person that told me that, I thought I was being punked. Okay, I thought the person that informed me that this is legit, that this is not fake, I said, there's no way. You're pulling my leg here. You want me to go on the radio and become a jackwagon on the radio and say, I mean, of course I did, because that's what I do. But it happened. So, wow. Man alive.